Human rights defenders are pushing for human rights. They are pushing for respect of the law. If you do that in the face of people in authority who do not want that law to be followed, who don't want you and I and everyone to have their human rights, you are bound to be on a collision course. So earlier I spoke about the treatment of human rights defenders or perceived critics in the criminal courts, where if you are arrested for protesting against an illegality, you are an enemy of the state. So you are supposed to be denied bail. You are supposed to go to Chikurubi. Eventually the High Court may give you bail, but you have already been punished, without being found guilty. That's actually what we have been seeing happening. Sometimes the cases are then thrown off the court, but you were in Chikurubi for 40 days.
Yeah.
No one is going to compensate you for that. That's actually what we have been witnessing. We have been recording even the most grievous forms of torture, abductions, abuse. This is all public knowledge. That's coupled by impunity. In this country, we do not have anyone in recent years who has been arrested or prosecuted for abductions and torture. But this is happening every other year. This is happening every other month. And that's a problem. So there is a security risk to doing human rights defense work.
Are you hopeful? Are you hopeful?
I'm very hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Trevor, we are seeing new energy coming into the front lines. Young people who are coming up and saying, this is our constitution, this is our country, this is our future. We are going to defend it. That's extremely important. Yes.
Tell me, there's a notion that in certain circles that human rights is a foreign concept. Human rights is not an African thing, point number one. And then the other issue is to buttress that point, is then to say it's foreigners who are interested in human rights, and which is why the NGOs, civil society organizations that are in the forefront of fighting for human rights are being funded by foreigners. What's your take on that? What's your response? What's your pushback on that kind of thinking?
Yeah, that kind of thinking, in law we call it approbating and reprobating at the same time. I'll say something that Beatrice Mutetwa said when we launched the Constitutional Law Center. This constitution was voted for by 94% of the Zimbabweans who voted. It was voted by the Zimbabwean parliament made up of Zimbabweans. It was signed by a Zimbabwean president. And when we say this is ours and we want to defend it, it's our thing. We created it. All of us, including those who are saying human rights are Western. But let's bring it home. There is nothing Western about you not having your house demolished without a court order. There is nothing Western about saying you can't be tortured. There is nothing Western about saying, let's respect your dignity. Let's give you the right to an education. Let's give you access to health care. You must be treated equally. There is nothing Western about that. It's all Zimbabwean. It's all African. These are also our aspirations as Zimbabwean and Africans. It borders on insulting people's intelligence when you say, you are only saying human rights because someone is telling you to say it or someone is funding you. This is about our lives. People demanding space and recognition under the Zimbabwean sun. You don't need any Western embassy to tell you that you are hungry, or that you have been tortured and it's not right, or that you are being treated unequally. You don't need any Western embassy to do that.